10 years ago, Windows 10 debuted. In that time, a lot has changed in how and where we work. Hi, I'm Kelly Malone for Connection. Today I'm joined by Mitch Doctor, Commercial Master Trainer for North America at Microsoft. So we've gotten this far using Windows 10.
Yep.
Why upgrade to 11?
That's a great question, right? And a big thing was, Windows 10 is 10 years old. Windows 11 is about to celebrate its 3rd anniversary, but there's a lot of reasons there. And I think the first we need to think about contextually is, well, teams now exist everywhere, not just in an office anymore or, in a brick and mortar behind a firewall. Now, workers pre-COVID in 2020, about 82% of them were actually in an office, where that's very different from the world that we now live in, where 80% of them are working from home or working remotely or in some type of hybrid capacity.
I don't think a lot of us realized how out of date our devices were until this modern world of hybrid work.
Yeah, and making sure we have devices being built on purpose for modern work is what is going to set us up now and into the future.
So how are modern devices being built for hybrid work?
So the hardware itself is a little bit different. Now, as a requirement for Windows 11 Pro, every device has to have a Trusted Platform Module 2.0 chip, as well as needs a UEFI BIOS supported hard drive, like a solid state hard drive or an NVMe drive. And this allows us to do a couple really great things. Whether that's BitLocker encryption or utilizing Windows Hello for Business for single sign-on. But I think one of the biggest things that gets overlooked is virtualized based security. So in virtualized based security, if you think of it this way, let's take our POT, that is our computer and our operating system, your pictures, your devices, your emails, the things like the registry and the firmware and things that make the integrity of the PC are all in the same pot. That's Windows 10. Right? Everything exists in the same pot. So maybe you put a bad ingredient in the pot, like a malware attack. What happens to the pot?
It's ruined.
Yeah, it's ruined, right? No one's going to eat that soup.
Yeah.
And then, well, now the soup goes down the drain and it's a lost cause, right? So now in Windows 11, using virtualized based security and the hardware security that comes with that, all of the pot stays the same in Windows 11, but the firmware, the registry files, and other things that make the integral part of Windows itself now are in a pitcher, and we're constantly just pouring that in. So if something's infected in the soup, is what's in my hand in the pitcher necessarily infected?
No.
No. So the integrity of the PC stays what it is, which is that much more important. So now IT can be able to manage that device so that device can eventually be worked on, fixed, and returned back to work.
Well, you painted a very vivid picture. But no single device can support every type of workflow. A lot of us do have to return to the office occasionally. What are some action items that you tell your teams?
I think the first big thing is if you're meeting in person, make it on purpose. Have an on purpose on why you're there. And then on top of that, make sure you have the right devices for those individual people. So make sure you have different devices for different types of people. So whether that's editing or copywriting or anything else for that matter. Do they need a touch? Don't they need a touch? Do you need a workstation? Are they doing video production? There is a plethora of devices from all of our wonderful OEM partners that can easily be matched up to each of those individual users.
All right, one last question. How can a business help their teams be more business ready?
Yeah, I think number one is just start auditing yourselves, right? How many Windows 10 devices do you have? How old are they? When we think old, we're thinking 4+ year old devices, right? Because that's typically where the line was between, do you have the new hardware? Are you able to support some of that new security and take advantage of it? And if you're not, start replacing those devices with Windows 11. Windows 11 Pro is honestly not very costly. It's actually extremely cost effective. We're seeing large returns of investments of organizations that are upgrading to Windows 11 because they're actually decreasing cost elsewhere, specifically in IT and IT support. We're seeing an almost 80% reduction in device-related tickets, and not just that, but they can also deploy Windows 11 devices within the same environments they're already managing with Windows 10. So when you can deploy and manage Windows 10 and 11 devices together, there's very little lift at all that IT has to do.
So much great information. Thank you so much, Mitch. And thank you for watching Inside Access. You can learn more about how modern Windows 11 Pro devices help you rise above by visiting connection.com/Windows 11.